I just been living la vida bankroll. How the saying go? Got it flooded to my ankles. Need a raincoat, pair of boots, and a dang.
Welcome to the Get Cracking podcast. We are on a mission to accelerate each one of us to happiness. And today we have another super cool guest, the rising star, Linda. Welcome.
Hello. Hi.
Hi. Tradition of our pod is that everybody who comes in, they are forced to introduce themselves in exactly 60 seconds. Less is fine, but not more than that. Are you ready?
Maybe. I might ramble.
Okay, but then the floor is yours.
So I started posting on LinkedIn in January of 2022. I went semi-viral, 100,000 impressions, 1,000 likes, and 100 comments, and it overwhelmed me so bad that it made me quit LinkedIn for about a year. Worked in the service industry for about 2 and just decided that that life was not for me anymore. Could not handle it anymore. Went back on LinkedIn, see what was out there, who was out there. Came across this girl named Indiana. Shout out to you, girl. She was a marketing VA, and she inspired me that, you know, she was doing her own thing while being her. And I said, you can do that? It's not a professional platform. I thought I could just go viral and be like, oh, I'm done with LinkedIn. That was it for me. And been working freelance for 11 months now. Started officially on LinkedIn for about since January, and officially a virtual assistant for solopreneurs, agency owners, ghostwriters, and anything under the sun.
Cool, sounds good. So you are virtual assistant, and then also you are a content creator.
I never put myself under those words, but sure, yeah.
But like for me, the content creators are people who, you know, expressing themselves or putting something on any social platform.
With those definitions, yeah, I definitely see that.
So it sounds like that. And then virtual assistant, so you already mentioned that people who you work with, but would you expand a bit? So who exactly work and what does it exactly means? So virtual assistant is who?
A virtual assistant is a remote assistant that helps out any CEO, founder, executive, I guess you would say, with their day-to-day admin, social media management. I personally assist with LinkedIn more, as well as any side admin, email management, the nitty-gritty of business.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And how do you feel about that? So is it something that you always wanted to do, or?
I actually studied HR in the Philippines.
Right.
Even though I'm not Filipino. I grew up there and studied there and realized that I should try to find work. You know, I studied HR for all these years. I should try to find something in that field. Tried, failed because I was considered a foreigner. So they said, sorry, it's too much work to hire you. So I told my dad about it, and he goes, you should move to Finland. You're not a foreigner there. And then moved here, boom, pandemic. And I'm like, wow, my luck.
Yeah.
So that's where the admin stuff came from, where I would be fixing people's payroll, fixing people's receipts from their medical bills and shit like that. And I just loved it so much. I love the detail because, as you know, I'm the nail girl on LinkedIn, that details matter to me.
Yeah.
So that's where I used it to my advantage in business. So organizing the emails to the shopping label or the newsletter label, all of those things.
Cool. But now I have too many questions. So first of all, what was the mindset shift? So you are from HR, and I think, and then on some point it was some troubles like pandemic, etc. But how did it happen that you moved to this new virtual assistant type of thing and then becoming a freelancer? You were supposed to become HR professional or like a payroll specialist.
Yeah.
And something happened, and then you became a freelancer.
Yeah. What happened was that I applied to all of these jobs on LinkedIn, and since I don't speak Finnish, that was one of the factors that I could not apply to be in HR. So my partner realized that, what you do can be still put into business, but it might have to be under a different title. And I was applying to all these assistant jobs because it could bring me in the door to understanding what other departments I could pursue in. And I came across Indiana, who was a marketing VA. So I'm like, you can go specific. You can go into the things that you want and pitch those to people that need it. So that's what I did, where I can help with emails. I love doing that. I can help with writing invoices. I can help fixing your finances by organizing it to, send to the government, stuff like that. And I just love going into those details.
I mean, it's amazing to hear, because so what actually happened is that you've been kind of trying to get where you want, and then you've been using this kind of typical methods and typical actions, and probably you've been super hard working, applying for those jobs, right?
Yeah.
And then didn't work. And then what you've done, you basically pivoted to something else. And also, I'm happy that you said specific, because this is also really common topic among kind of my podcast
Niches,
guests.
yes.
Among my podcast guests, everybody who comes on the pod, it was Aurelia, it was Joppe, they really say, yes, you need to be super specific. You need to identify what exactly that you are helping with. And then in your case, you're like, okay, hey, let me focus. You narrowed it down, you specify, and it feels that so far it was a success.
Yeah.
So.
And the best part, what I do as the most selling of my services, is that I help creators on LinkedIn that want to engage with other creators but don't have time for it. So I do it on their behalf.
And engagement. So so the story, so me and you've met because of Slush.
Yes.
So we are both part of the Slush kind of volunteering teams. And in the round of, let's say, networking, we've been exchanging LinkedIns. And so then we got connected in LinkedIn. But what is unusual that you've engaged straight away with me. So that's what I highlight. And I think this is partly the reason why you're also on the pod today.
Yes.
Because you leave what you preach. So we connected and you engaged, sent me some kind of lines.
I immediately responded to your connection request, be like, hey, saw you're volunteering. Would love to meet and, network. Yeah.
I think this is just a primary example how the life and social life works. So the engagement is the king. So engagement in terms of the posts. So you post, somebody needs to like, somebody needs to comment.
Like the window, but you need to enter the door.
Yeah. And then you build the relationship out from there. But then, taking this incremental step. So sending the message or commenting. So cool.
Engaging. Just trying to introduce myself on the LinkedIn world. And I think that's one thing that people don't understand about LinkedIn, or at least students who would like to try on LinkedIn, is that just trying to meet someone, you wouldn't want to walk on the street and be like, oh, I'm selling you a watch right now. But no, you'd be like, hi, oh my God, your watch looks so cool. And then start a conversation rather than just sell it immediately. Be like, oh, but my watch is better.
Yeah. Or the same with mentorship. I think, if somebody reach out to someone, hey, be my mentor.
Yeah.
And then you reach out to C-level, I don't know, Nokia dude, and then, hey, be my mentor.
Yeah.
He's probably getting hundreds of those inquiries.
Thousands, yeah.
But then
you need to stand out.
If you build up somehow and if you stand out, so then there is surely a way, maybe not to Nokia C-level, but then some other dude.
Yeah. I mean, I think I saw that on TikTok, in the beginning of the pandemic, where if you reach out to all of your favorite creators and be like, if you give me 30 minutes of your time to show you what I can do for you for free, I can show you my potential. But obviously, the more you send out, the more chance you get, but it's still the chance. And if you taint that on LinkedIn, the relationship will be gone. I've seen creators who use their LinkedIn before working for a company and just sending out thousands of connection requests, pitching their current, their past business. And they would have to apologize to those creators and be like, I'm so sorry. I was working for a company that asked me to do all this thing. Hope we could start fresh.
Yeah.
So that's what people just don't realize, that once you're seen that way, people don't want to look at you again.
Yeah. One more thing from business world. I heard it from one of the podcasts I'm listening. So what they said, if you want to get like in contacts with someone, and then we are not speaking about sales. Sales is a different process, but you want to get in contact, you want to become, let's say, professional friends, or you find a mentor.
Yeah.
So you reach out to them and you say something concrete, saying, hey, I am like, I don't know, running my business and I have this kind of 2 options on my table. How would you tackle this, problem? How would you evaluate the outcomes? And then the person gives you advice, and then you go and you either follow or not follow advice, but you make your choices. You choose the path and you solve the problem. And then after some time, you get back to the same person and say, hey, we spoke about this last time. You said this is what I've done. This is what the outcome, this is where I am now.
Yeah.
So following this process, this another person would be actually amazed that you've listened. This is one thing. And the second thing, that you're moving. So
Yeah.
you're not stagnant, and then you have a progress.
Yeah.
So then from there, you can take it like basically wherever you want.
Yeah. And not only that, but you two can collaborate on working on it to the next step, and
Exactly.
the next and the next. And that's where the relationship
Yeah.
starts.
Okay, so since we're speaking about LinkedIn, you already
Yes.
mentioned that you went viral. So how
God.
does it feels to go viral?
It was scary. Oh
Okay.
my God. I had all types of people connect with me, from like the best creators to people that did not need my services, from plumber to technician to electrician.
Yeah.
And obviously those numbers count on a vanity scale, but it was overwhelming. It was scary. And then obviously the imposter syndrome, where how can I like make the next post better? And it just scared the life out of me. But I pushed, not only that, but my partner pushed me to post. We made a game plan, be like, okay, you don't like creating content. I'll make it for you. You just focus on building relationships, writing your comments, and we can move on from there. We can always talk about if you don't like your content. It's just content. It's not the end of the world. If you don't like it, if people don't like it, at least you're out there. So I did that.
So, and then maybe just to put it in the perspective, so you went viral and then there was a break.
Yes.
So you've been kind of
A
without
year.
a year without LinkedIn.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then it took you a year to kind of overcome this imposter syndrome.
Yeah.
And then you got back on it.
Yeah.
So, and then since then, walk us through the stats. What do you have now?
What do you mean? Like, I recently hit 4,000 followers. Woo!
Yeah.
My connection requests finally reached over 500. I never thought I would make it. My engagement is around 20 comments, so not much, but it's perfect for me. I think likes are around almost 100, sometimes here and there, but it's moving steadily. It took me 11 months to get there. Slowly but surely.
So within 11 months, we are already on this level, and I think it's quite remarkable. It's really well done, and it's not the virality outcome anymore, because I heard a lot like, oh yeah, somebody went viral, and then this is from where all the kind of fame comes. But then now it seems that you had 11 months of work that now transfers to these numbers. And what do you tell us? What you've learned? So what's the game?
I've learned that LinkedIn is definitely a different platform than Instagram, Twitter, TikTok. I think it feels, probably in my sense, more raw. I feel like I'm actually talking to someone that people easily will be like, would you like to network? Like jump on a call, have a conversation. And I've met more people that are genuinely interested in meeting someone rather than on Instagram.
Right.
You can see a window in their lives, but with LinkedIn, they're actually opening the door and inviting you in. And not only that, but I've created friends who Filipino friends who are in Spain,
Yeah.
still in the Philippines, or in Copenhagen, and just creating my own community
Yeah.
there.
It's interesting. Like we've been in a bar. It was kind of semi-friendly professional meeting, and then we've been speaking on LinkedIn. And those people, some of them are also creators. And the common topic or the topic name was like, why LinkedIn is so cringe.
Yeah, apparently I was on a Reddit,
Okay.
on LinkedIn. I forgot what the word is, but I might have to send it to Roman to put it in. But it was about cringing on creators.
Okay.
And they were like talking about my eyebrows and just going hard on my content.
On you?
Yeah.
Ah, no way.
They posted my post on Reddit and cringing at it.
Terrible.
I think I have the link to it as well. I'll send it to you.
Okay.
But they were just cringing on everything about creators or people who go viral or posts. And they just go hard, like, oh my God, she posts a selfie in every post. I'm like, I know. I did it on purpose. All my posts have a selfie on it because it works. If it doesn't, I would not have posted it. But it works for me.
Yeah.
And if it attracts the wrong people, then sorry, you're on the wrong platform. So, yeah, it's a thing in LinkedIn where people just cringe at each other's posts.
But then also, so what we had back then, so they said LinkedIn is full of, we can call them, finance bro.
Yeah.
And then, or, the corporate people. And
I've seen those, yeah.
it's also full of, borderline harassment cases.
Yeah.
And all those kind of type of stuff, or super smart kind of people or not that smart. So, and then now, like, actually, I'm surprised to hear that you actually have done a lot of friends and genuine connections there.
Yeah.
But have you also faced like the
Yeah, I have. And not only that, but I think the only way out of the cringe content of LinkedIn is to find creators that you enjoy.
Right.
And one of my best recommendations when you send a connection request, also add a personalized note. Always, no matter what, even if you do know them, send a personalized note asking for not advice, because that's also cringe.
Right.
Asking for, hey, I'm trying to enter to this space. Love that this was your recent post. Is there any creators that are in this field or in this topic that I should follow?
Yeah.
So you create a conversation, and then once they respond, you be like, awesome. Is there any creators that you're looking for? Maybe I could recommend you some. So there's a conversation. Then you talk about how you knew these creators. Is there a connection there? Why these content? Why these topics? And then you just engage on each other's posts, as well as engaging in the creators' posts as friends.
Yeah. True.
So that's like one of my best advice for connecting with someone, trying to not only meet them, but meet who they enjoy.
And then also something else. It's a lot about brand. So how you build your own brand and how you understand your brand.
Yeah.
And then you have this kind of nail thing.
Yes. My nails.
I think I am not into nails. I don't have.
I mean, I don't post it as well so much.
But then I feel it's a great kind of element of your brand, and it's something kind of specific again, and then kind of unusual.
Yeah.
So you don't see everybody doing nails, but you're not actually doing nails, but it's part of your brand, and it shows up your personality.
Yeah.
But then it adds up on kind of total picture that you paint through your profile.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love it. Cool.
Well, I started where I was supposed to become a nail technician, but realized that I kind of wanted to keep it to myself, doing my nails. It's like my own me time, like a spa day, but just focusing on my nails. And it's been an obsession of mine that I realized that if I move towards it, I would not enjoy it so much. So that's where my detail-oriented personality comes from. Yeah.
And I feel you. So I used to be a guide, like a tour guide. So I used to take people to the forest and show.
You're in Helsinki?
No, in Lapland, when I used to live in Rovaniemi.
That is cold. I can't imagine.
It's cold, but it's beautiful and it's absolutely worth it. And, you know, show Northern Lights to people, show how to survive in the forest, drive snowmobiles, like a dream type of work.
Yeah.
But then I was like, yeah, maybe it's not made for me. I love to do it as a kind of hobby, but if I do it as a work, I get fed up with that. I'm like, no, enough.
It's like working in the museum where every day, oh yeah, there's a dinosaur there.
I'm like, yeah, so what?
Yeah. Did you get bored of seeing the Northern Lights?
I don't think you can get bored of seeing Northern Lights, but you surely start enjoying less, let's say, nature and then snowmobile driving. But with Northern Lights, it became for me as borderline science type of approach. It was like, oh, I've seen this I've seen these shapes, I've seen these colors, or now it is like strong or not strong. And then the funny thing is that the tourists who've been on a tour, when we've been seeing something rather good, they used to ask me like, okay, so from everything you've seen, like how good is that? And then I would be telling them, yeah, maybe this is like 9 out of 10, but then the reality is like maybe 5. But you don't want to disappoint them.
Obviously. I always have to catch it on a good day, that I've heard.
But also in Helsinki, I've seen last year in Helsinki.
I don't think I have.
So
damn it, I've not seen the Northern Lights.
Stay tuned. Instagram tells me, like once I was like, Instagram, somebody, Northern Lights above Helsinki right now. And I'm like, wow.
Damn. Okay, I might have to check Instagram. You might have to send me one when you see it.
Yes. If I see, I was like, hey, get out.
Check your window. Oh, God.
Another thing I wanted to speak with you was a lot about energy. So I see you as super energetic person, and I see that you are you're committed to your certain things, and you have this speech and delivery thing. So, and then it feels that you are ready to crush through the walls. So where from energy comes, and you know how to be like you, like in a good sense.
How to absorb my energy. In the Philippines, I give huge props of my personality to the Filipinos that I grew up with. They're just hospitable. Like, I know this might sound like a little grim, but even if there's a funeral going on, people will invite you to come in and celebrate their life.
Okay.
That, you know, it just becomes a party at the end of the evening, no matter how grim it is. And it just, like, it amazed me so much that no matter where you're from, Filipinos will bring you in, treat you like you're the most amazing guest that they've ever received.
Right.
And no matter where you're from, who you are, you're always interested in hearing their stories. And I could like meet a Filipino here in Helsinki and like immediate connection. And I push that towards meeting other people. So that's why Slush has been my go-to for meeting people, not only my age, but we also have high schoolers, and you also have people who are in their 40s, 50s, volunteering, and you meet all types of people, and it's like a green pass to meet someone out of nowhere. And that's what my energy comes from, where I just want to know their story.
Right.
And if I'm not able to open up to them, why would they do it for me?
True, but from where does this happiness comes? So why Filipino people are happy? Why do you think so?
I think it's because they don't have time to be sad.
Okay.
Every season is always a reason to celebrate. Fiestas are huge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, okay, but the weather. So I'm the devil's advocate here. So now we are in Finland, November, slush time.
By 3 p.m. it's already freaking dark.
Yeah. So now we are coming to the podcast. It's dark. We are leaving. It's already dark.
Yep. I think just surrounding myself with people that give me the right energy. One thing that I saw as well on TikTok is that there's this discussion between a couple where they say, my energy level, I'm at an 80%. What about you? Then the other person goes, I'm at a 50 right now. Well, I can carry your 50 that you're missing, and we can work through it. And then understanding that some days we might not be in each other's level or energy level, and trying to compensate that. And for me, if I'm always at 100, I mean, obviously a week ago, I was like probably at 30. But I think looking forward to something and trying to just get out there, even though the weather is shit.
Yeah.
It's just pushing yourself out there to like, meet someone. And for me, today was like, I was looking forward to coming here today.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's a lot about like, or what I hear is it's about people.
Yeah.
So then, if...
I've never lived alone.
Never,
No.
entirely.
No.
Wow.
In the Philippines, I always had at least never less than 5 people in the house.
Really? Mm-hmm. But it's such a, community feeling, our family feeling even.
Not only that, but my parents lived next door.
Yeah.
They moved near
So
me.
maybe this is from where happiness comes. I mean, so here in Finland we have it's quite normal to be yourself and be happy by yourself, which is also another topic. I mean, it's good to be independent and happy by yourself. But then the true happiness might be coming from the, connections and from people. And then, like you said in TikTok, that the couples are asking what's your energies. By the same type of kind of conversation, we had in the office, one of our colleagues, she was just reflecting that she's maybe not depressed, but she feels a bit kind of down or maybe lower energy. And then we just spoke with her. We kind of tried to figure out what brings happiness to her. And also that's what also I told to my other colleagues, that like, let's
what do you need?
Let's look also on this colleague, and if we can invite her somewhere, or maybe ask her more of how she feels.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think for me, also one of the things that has been difficult is working from home.
Okay.
Because, you work there, you live there, you sleep there, you get distracted at home. And I think just accepting the fact that some days you aren't at your 100%. But if you could bring it to the 100% of what you are at, it's 1% better than the next day.
What do you think about the constant improvement? It is super topic. So we always need to be better, 1% better and better and better. So what do you think?
I'm bad at it, so bad.
Okay.
Oh my God. Shout out to Richard Moore.
Okay.
I am trying to understand his course, and it's a little difficult, especially since it's like your own time. I don't know what the term is, but where you have to it's under your own time. There's no specific deadline for you to do it, but it's just, my mental state can't do it. I feel like I can't sit down and improve myself in learning all these courses and improvements and coaches. It just seems like a burden, honestly, on my side. But once I get that energy click, I cannot stop. And just I'll be obsessed with it. I might have ADHD. I'm not sure.
But about ADHD, I think, as far as I understood, that most of us have something HD.
I think we might have our own sense of triggers that will spark us, and then.
Or there's also different types of those.
Yeah.
ADD there is, or there's a dyslexia, or there's a whole set.
It's a whole spectrum,
Super many of them, and I think it's actually great to understand what you have, so you can actually
True. Now that I'm Helsinki, the free healthcare might help. I just haven't had time to check it.
But many people, they're actually not so happy about free healthcare here. But this is whole another topic. Okay, another thing that I had in mind. It was maybe a bit about the ghostwriting.
Yes.
We are jumping a bit between topics. So we spoke about LinkedIn first, then we spoke about the happiness. Now we speak about kind of more of LinkedIn, but the ghostwriting.
Yes.
So do you ghostwrite for someone?
No. God, no.
Do you use ghostwriters?
Yes. Shout out to my ghostwriter, Roman Pikalenko. He's a LinkedIn creator as well. He helps me, or he writes all my content for me. I may have wrote 1 or 2, but it's really bad. You won't find them anymore. And he helps me. That's one of the reasons why I'm on LinkedIn, is that if he doesn't help me, I'm not going to be on LinkedIn.
So I think what is important kind of first to emphasize is this kind of, problem solution approach. So the problem is that you were not able to kind of write in a certain way.
Yeah.
This is where the ghostwriting comes.
For standards, yes.
Exactly, yes. So this is where you have the solution, which is the kind of ghostwriter, and then together with your brand, with your visions and kind of his ghostwriting skills, you're able to move forward.
Yeah.
What else would you say of how should you use these type of kind of services correctly, and what you've learned through the journey?
Well, it's kind of difficult to say. This is only from my own story. It helps to have him because he's my partner and he knows me, and he can put my story into words better than I could. I could make it conversational like you and me are now, but I could never write it down because I feel like I would, the post would never end.
Yeah.
Or it would be so short that it's not conversational anymore. So he has helped me figure out that I'm apparently this on paper, and he brought out my personality more than I could. And when I'm reading this, I'm like, is this another person that I've never met? I love her. That's where I realized that if I love what I write, if I love what I see in my content, then it feels like me. And the perfect thing is that, honestly, I have not checked the content to the nitty-gritty detail, but he just emphasizes me so well. He portrays me so well. I know ghostwriters are quite expensive. I just had the benefit of living with one. And it's just understanding how text can be so important.
Yeah.
Copywriting is so important. And now that I've been on LinkedIn for almost a year, realizing that all these short stories, short form content, long form content, it's a small chapter to their story. You just, figure out how to put it in a book.
Yeah. But what it does is that is the skill. So let's say in this case he has a skill of it, and then he can take your personality and put it in writing.
Yeah.
And on the contrast, let's say you don't have it. Ultimately, I don't have it. I'm way more conversational, and for people who read my LinkedIn posts, I feel sorry sometimes for you guys. But again, the metrics and engagements explains everything how they perform.
Oh.
But it's about utilizing your strength.
Yeah.
So and then figuring and solving the problems. Maybe I should also get the ghostwriter.
Actually, the funny thing is, we didn't come up with the idea. We were in Amsterdam for his birthday. And Roman had a creator who was following him for quite some time. And we decided to meet up. And she said that she didn't have much clients. So she said that she wanted to experiment more ghostwriting for someone who wasn't really in the industry. So her boyfriend. So she would write for him and prove to the fact that you can write content from being a nobody.
Yeah.
From anywhere, starting from somewhere. And it will not only give her experience, but show people and use it to her content that I can ghostwrite. It worked for my boyfriend. These are the analytics.
Yeah.
So me and Roman go, why didn't we think of it?
Exactly.
So that's where we got the idea. So why not use it to your advantage? If you are good at writing, you can always test it out. Obviously, don't copy. But just trying to figure out your sense.
And here, the concept is proven. So let's say, the social media, the platforms, they enable creators to grow, right?
Yeah.
So you just need to figure out the correct, let's say, tactical things that what
Your
you actually
recipe,
need to do. What's your recipe for that? And then you can scale. So it's proven by you, proven by those guys, and many other examples.
In my defense, I started LinkedIn with a fresh account, though. No, not too many connection requests, not too many posts. So I did not have that much corporate sense in my LinkedIn. So it really helped the algorithm pop off my first post because it was my first post.
Right. Yeah.
So that was just my journey from LinkedIn. But it really does help if you start from the beginning. And now I think it's 2% of 2% of accounts that only write on LinkedIn.
from the total number of accounts,
What I've
only
heard.
2% actually active accounts.
Yeah.
But this is also, I mean, true when like from your feed, you probably notice, not from my feed, I know people who are creating, right? And then, but then I have like many connections, and then most of them, I know them, but I don't see them kind of putting anything up there.
I think the term is lurkers.
Who?
Lurkers.
Lookers.
Lurkers.
So it is the one who are not
Just,
posting.
yeah, not posting. Just looking around LinkedIn, liking.
Okay.
Yeah. It's very weird. It's a weird. It's
a choice. I mean, it is the choice, of course.
I mean, I've heard that you could slowly come out of lurking by just commenting as much as you could on people's posts. Don't comment, I like post or great post or stuff like that. Like add an opinion to it or disagree. You can disagree on LinkedIn.
Absolutely.
Just do it tastefully. Because that has happened before.
I also feel that, you need to make a decision. So do you want it or you don't want it? So if you want it, you need it, you kind of decide.
True.
And ultimately, somewhere, it might be, 5 years from now.
True.
But this ultimate decision is like, yes, in the 5 years, I want to be kind of more active. It feels like me and I want to get there. And then you start with the commenting.
Yeah.
Getting yourself accustomed.
Yeah.
Cool. So what's next on your agenda?
Well, I am waiting for my partner to get his visa.
Okay.
Sorry, no, not visa. Citizenship. Yes, there we go.
Nice.
He's waiting for his citizenship. After that, we will travel, try to become a digital nomad, whatever that term means.
Digital nomads, all right.
I honestly don't really understand it completely, but I want to travel. I've actually not visited Europe much. Just the ferry ride back and forth, but other than that, not really.
But then, so it is like a dream life to some people. So then you get the freedom of location because you can travel, and then you have a financial freedom because you work while you travel, and you kind of create these income streams from your virtual assistant where you can do it anywhere, or the content, so you can ultimately generate money from the content as well. So I'm living the dream life.
Yeah. My goodness.
Where people find more about you, Linda, and then where should they connect and where you send them?
Well, you can connect with me on LinkedIn. Send a personalized note. If you don't send one, I might not accept it.
No connections.
No.
You can be
I
follower.
might decline it. You could be there for weeks. But the personalized note, I love those so much. Maybe comment, love your nails. Mostly LinkedIn. You can follow me on Instagram, but it's mostly personal. Otherwise,
we will leave the LinkedIn link in the show notes. And then, of course, if you need a virtual assistant, you probably can reach out, or maybe you can
I might be fully booked,
Might be
but
fully booked.
you can always try.
Cool. Thank you so much for being here today. Absolutely enjoyed it. It was amazing. And I wish you all the best on your journey. And we see somewhere in Europe probably if you go travel.
There's an interview part 2. We'll see. I might bring my ghostwriter.
Oh, this would be fun actually. Yeah, I never yet had a 2 people kind of on an interview.
We'll love that.
Cool. Thank you.
Stay tuned.
Bye.
Bye.
Flooded to my ankles, need a raincoat. Pair of boots and a dang bow, gotta stay flow. I might pull up in a stagecoach playing Beethoven. Whoa.